They say your gut never lies, but what if your gut is screaming, and you're too afraid to listen? My name is Alyssa, and this is the story of how my picture-perfect life collapsed quietly, not with a bang, but with a folded piece of paper tucked behind some books in the closet, a paper that changed everything. David and I met when I was 24. I was working as a marketing assistant. He was in finance. We met through friends at a 4th of July barbecue. He spilled beer on my dress. I insulted his haircut. It was chemistry, messy and instant. David was solid, predictable. The guy who paid his bills on time and double-checked the oven before leaving. He made me feel safe, not just loved, but safe. We moved in together after a year. Got married at 2. Built a quiet little life just outside Austin, with a lemon tree in the backyard and a rescue dog named Charlie who hated squirrels with a passion. But marriage isn't a movie. The happily ever after is mostly dishes, traffic, budgeting apps, and mismatched socks. We weren't perfect. There were fights, real ones, like the time he accused me of hiding credit card debt, or when I said he never really saw me anymore. But we always made up. We were functional until we ran single quotes t.it started about a year before I got pregnant. There was a work retreat, the kind with trust falls and buffet lunches. David couldn't come. He had a conference in Chicago. And then there was Ethan. He was a new hire, handsome in a smug 210 way. He laughed at everything I said, complimented my mind, my voice, even the way I stirred my coffee. It was stupid. It was fast. And it was over in less than 12 hours. We didn't even stay the whole night. He passed out drunk. I left at 4 a.m. and never spoke to him again. Deleted his number, burned the memory, or so I thought. I found out I was pregnant 7 months later. David cried when I told him. We sat on the bathroom floor, laughing and crying at the same time. He kissed my belly every morning before work. He built the crib by himself. Didn't even ask for help. We named her Ellie, after my grandmother. She was born on a Tuesday, at 3:14 a.m. 6 pounds, 8 ounces, big blue eyes and a sharp little cry like she was already protesting life. David held her first. He said, "Hi, little bean, I'm your daddy." He looked so proud, so full of joy. I almost convinced myself it was real. Almost. 2 months later, I noticed something changed. It was subtle at first. He'd watch her sleeping with a strange look in his eyes, not love, not warmth, something questioning. I caught him comparing baby photos, mine, his, our parents'. He spent hours online, reading about genetic traits. He kept staring at her nose, her ears, her curls. One night, I asked, "Do you think she looks more like me or you?" He didn't even hesitate. Neither. At first, I thought he was just tired. New dad exhaustion. The lack of sleep can turn your brain into soup. But then he started asking weird questions. "Hey, when was that girls' weekend in Houston? Did you ever get that Uber receipt from the holiday party? Remind me again where you were the night my mom was in the hospital?" It wasn't curiosity. It was suspicion. He was keeping track, lining things up, building a case. I told myself he was being paranoid, but the guilt was there under the surface. And guilt has a smell, a weight, a heartbeat of its own. Every diaper I changed, every lullaby I sang, I could feel it watching me from the corner of the room. One night, I came home late from dinner with my best friend Jessica. I walked in the door and he was sitting in the dark. "You're late," he said. I checked the time. It was 10:12. Traffic. He didn't speak, just looked at me, then at my phone, then at our daughter, asleep in her bassinet. That night, I dreamed he took Ellie and vanished. No note, no trace. Just her favorite blanket left behind on the porch. I woke up in a panic and cried in the bathroom for 40 minutes. Then came the garage. I found him out there one night, in the cold, sitting on a folding chair, a bottle of whiskey half gone, Ellie's hospital bracelet in his hands. He looked up at me and whispered, "She doesn't feel like mine." That line, I swear it carved something out of me. But I didn't confess. I couldn't, because once you say it, once the truth is spoken, you can't take it back. It lives in the air forever. So I told him he was imagining things, blamed stress, work, hormones, gaslit him honestly. And he nodded like he believed me, but his eyes said otherwise. Then, One quiet afternoon, while folding laundry, I knocked over a stack of books in our bedroom. Behind them, tucked into a manila folder, was an envelope. No name, no return address. I opened it. DNA results. My stomach twisted before I even saw the numbers. Probability of paternity. Oh, the room started spinning. I sat on the bed and stared at that number for 10 straight minutes. He knew. He had known for weeks, maybe months. He didn't confront me, didn't scream, didn't leave. He just stopped trusting me, quietly, like a slow leak in a tire. That night, I waited for him to come home. I laid the envelope on the kitchen table, lit a candle, put Ellie to bed early. When he walked in, he saw it immediately. He didn't ask what it was, didn't even sit down, just said, I hoped I was wrong. I broke. I told him everything, the hotel, the retreat, the wine, the shame. I told him I never meant for it to happen, that it was meaningless. He asked, then why did it ruin everything? The next morning, he packed a suitcase and left. No shouting, no slammed doors, just silence. But he came back every Friday to see Ellie. Never missed a week, never brought up the test again. But he never touched me again either. Never kissed my cheek, never said I love you. Sometimes I look at Ellie and wonder if she'll ever know, if she'll feel it. The absence, the shift, the subtle ways love gets poisoned by betrayal. David still brings her gifts, still paints her nails, still sings her silly songs about frogs and spaghetti. But with me, he's a stranger. Ethan never found out. I blocked him the week I gave birth and never looked back. I thought I was being strong, but really, I was just hiding. So, if you're listening to this thinking, she got what she deserved, you're right, I did. Because some lies don't explode, they just sit there, waiting, until one day, someone opens a folded piece of paper, and everything you built shatters quietly. Truth always finds a way out, even if it's delivered by mail.